Hello and welcome everybody. This is Joe from Startuprad.io, your startup podcast and YouTube blog from Germany. You are listening to the live stream of the Startup News Germany April. We announce all of our live streams on meetup.com. Join our meetup group there. It is free and you won't miss a stream. It's called Startup Couch TV Talks on meetup.com. Startup Radio brings you a Frankfurt to New York live hangout, the Startup News Germany. Have a look down here. You'll find all the links to our posts and with all the links and texts. And as I said, New York. Hey Chris, how you doing?
Hello to Frankfurt. I'm doing fine. Spring is here. I'm very happy.
Yeah, spring is here as well, and everything new makes the spring, we say in Germany. As you can see from the back, I am moving house. I'm sorry it's a little bit messy. So that means from the next live stream on, you'll find a different background behind me. Don't worry about it. Everything is fine. Chris and I decided to do the summer break this year, July and August, which means we'll have one more live hangout towards end of June. And we'll have the next one only end of September. So that means in July and in August, there are no live streams. Nonetheless, we'll keep publishing our audio podcast as well as our YouTube blog. As you noticed, right now our audio podcast turns a little bit more into the audio tracks from our YouTube interviews and live hangouts. Sponsoring message. Startups.observer supports this program. Startups.observer is like online dating for startups and investors. It is by far the easiest and most efficient way to research potential investment candidates or look for potential investors. Learn more at startups.observer. Chris, you want to do the ecosystem?
Yes. So the first stuff or the first news we found out was about German groceries and people buying groceries online. I think we talked about it a couple of times already that Germans are very price sensitive when it comes to their groceries. And so the market actually is not that easy. And we've seen that in recent years already in the classic retail when Walmart tried to enter the space and really had problems with those typical Walmart greeters in the beginning, or and when you enter the supermarket, and Germans were like, what do you want from me? Like, I just want cheap eggs and milk. And so they were kind of irritated by the level of service there. And but coming back to our ecosystem news, in Germany, not even 1% of groceries are right now bought online, says Rewe, which is one of Germany's largest grocery store chains. And Rewe, that leads to the fact that Rewe does not feel threatened by online stores so far, like Amazon Fresh, for example. Rewe also has an own store and argued that 90% of the competitors have already disappeared. So yeah, it's still a very complicated market. And Amazon Fresh wants to extend its reach of groceries in Germany, said the CEO. But overall, I think it's still a relatively problematic industry. Did you ever order stuff to have it delivered?
Admittedly, I did. It was in the very early days of Rewe. We may add for everybody who's listening to this, I know there are people in Paraguay and Spain listening, bon dia, as well as in Australia, New Zealand, and all over the world. So in Germany, there is a strict law when you can open grocery stores and all retail stores. That means usually you only have opened them from Monday morning until early afternoon on Saturdays, and if you have a very good grocery store close to you, it will be open like 8 a.m. and close 20 o'clock, meaning 8 p.m. for the Americans. That is something you have from Monday till Saturday, and stuff like from the United States, where you can go shopping, grocery shopping, like 4 a.m. after midnight, or you can go even shopping on a public holiday, on a bank holiday. All of that just doesn't work in Germany. There are very few local holidays where you cross a state border and you can shop on the other side of the state border. That's pretty rare. For example, 1st of May, 25th, 26th of December, 1st of January. That's basically days where all the grocery stores will be closed. And admittedly, I did take advantage of ordering online at Rewe when I was still new in consulting, because it was very convenient when you work Fridays at home and you get your food and stuff delivered, and then you don't need to go out, because basically you come back late Thursday, you're tired, you do a little bit less workload on a Friday, then on Saturday you have to do all the cleaning, the laundry and all of that stuff. You do a little bit relaxing on Sunday and then you start over again. So at the time I was doing this typical consultant lifestyle, I was ordering online, but right now I'm more walking into local stores, meaning not even Rewe, but the much smaller stores.
I'm also not a huge fan of it because I like to look at the stuff. I don't know. It's a matter of personal taste, probably.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway.
Especially if you have stuff like avocado, you have to feel them if they are ripe or not.
Yeah, but I don't know any good reason why anyone would ever buy avocado. I think it's anyway. It's story for another day.
Love it. Coming
back to the ecosystem, I'm talking over you because I don't bear talking about, can't stand talking about avocados. A number of banks and investors that have been working with WeWork in the past and that have financed WeWork leased buildings are now becoming more and more cautious about doing business with them, writes Bloomberg. So maybe the tide is shifting there. And I mean, it's also now already a super giant company, but yeah, we'll see. And we also saw a couple of IPOs recently where people who are probably not that much in the startup space sometimes wondered how they were possible. For example, we saw it with Lyft. Uber is planning to do an IPO. And you could wonder, why do so many people invest in those companies even though they have never made a profit? There is now more study, or there is now a study about this, and it turned out that in 2018, money-losing companies which went public did even better with their IPOs than the profitable ones. Kind of counterintuitive, but yeah, people seem to be excited about the potential.
Housekeeping. We used a new website called Chartable.com to track our podcast success, and it turns out we much better than we thought. With this tool, we get to see our top 100 placements in the respectable iTunes store, top 200, top 400, and we get emails even if we are in the top 1000. For example, we made it into the top 400 in Armenia, Albania, where we are a constant top 200 success, Ukraine, Turkey, Sweden, Spain, Romania, Paraguay, Norway, where we are also frequently in top 400, Luxembourg, Latvia, France, where we've been in the top 100 without us even noticing, Czech Republic, Belgium, Austria, Australia, Canada, and you already know Canada, UK, and the USA. We are very happy about that. You can see an updated chart, Startuprad.io/about-us. As usual, there's a lot going on our YouTube channel. We are now posting interviews from Landed London. Interviews from Landed London. There will be one more coming up, but we have been talking to dealroom.co, which is a startup founded by a former Lehman Brothers investment banker called Joram, who's originally from the Netherlands. And in this interview, we talk about how he got the idea of dealroom.co. He tells us everything about before his startup career, and he even tells us the moment when he was inside of Lehman Brothers New York and the moment they all got called in and said, guys, You're gone.
Wow.
Company's over. We
Nice.
do have a audio only podcast with Cashlink, who wants to digitize venture capital. An interview with Michael talking about his Frankfurt-based startup Cashlink, which pivoted from transferring cash to digitizing venture capital. He is also co-host of Continental Europe's largest fintech meetup, Fintech in and around Frankfurt. And Panala Solution identifies upcoming legal and regulatory topics early on, which is Frankfurt Forward Startup of the Month, April 2019. Our media partnership with Frankfurt Forward brings us straight to the hubs. I'll still do a little bit of Frankfurt here. After HVB Bank failed, now Commerzbank tries to build a contract management app for its client called Earnest App. HVB, by the way, is German arm of UniCredit. Startup financing on blockchain. Frankfurt-based fintech Agora Innovations and Cashlink solve the problem of secondary market rights Gründerküche, related, of course, our podcast with Cashlink. The Frankfurt-based Silicon Valley Bank, disclaimer, this is just one of the regional arms of Silicon Valley Bank, but it's the one that is here in Germany and has the right to issue credits here, hands out 6.5 million euro to credit to cloud-based corporate payment platform TIS, based in Waldorf, and Waldorf should ring a bell. Yes, it's also where SAP is headquartered. And then we do have two new arrivals. The Singularity University arrives in Frankfurt, right, Frankfurt Valley, and Founder Institute officially launches Pre-Seed Startup Accelerator in Frankfurt, its fifth city in Germany. Whew, that was a lot. Sorry.
Yeah, moving on to Mannheim, a bit closer to my old German hometown in Stuttgart. Mannheim-based Coinland, which sells software as a service solution for margin funding for cryptocurrency, now got an investment from HTGF. It's an undisclosed amount of venture capital. In Munich, we see that Termondo, it's a Munich-based competitor of Google's Nest, had to publish some numbers. And out of the sparse information, one can conclude that the venture capital they were able to raise so far is 51 million euros, of which 20 million have been spent, and a revenue in 2017 already of around 28 million euros. In Hamburg, we see that the gourmet food delivery startup Foodist was bought by Metacrew, and the Hamburg-based fintech TrustBuilds filed for bankruptcy. Investors included two large banks in Germany, Deutsche Bank and DZ Bank. So TrustBuilds is gone.
It appears this one is just for an insolvency case, because on the one side the investors Deutsche and DZ, and on the other side the founders of the company couldn't agree how to go further, and so they cut the cash flow. Obituary.
Which leads us to an even darker topic, because in Germany there's an online copy shop. It's called Plus Peter, and one of their founders, Karl Barguzat, was hit in late March by a car, and he sadly passed away. He only was 26 years old and died in that car accident. I'm very sorry to hear that.
Which brings us straight to companies. There was going on a lot concerning number 26 and 26, the neobank. We have a lot here, and we just try to give you a little overview. As you know, go down here in the show notes and you can find all the links. Handelsblatt writes that N26 had a special audit by BaFin, the German finance watchdog, German SEC, and found problems with staffing, management of outsourced services, and technology. Some banks also see more N26 accounts used in fraud. Disclaimer here, management of outsourced services and technology, banks in Germany have to supervise that and have to go very much into detail to make sure the outsourcing provider is doing it properly. Customer service of N26 has deteriorated. Examples collected by Gründerszene found All got started with an entrepreneur who got stolen 80,000 euros and he could not pay salaries and was locked out of his own account. Then we do have another article related to that, the same fraud case, and the customer service was unable to help. He cannot pay his employees or suppliers, and no one was there to talk to him since N26 stopped phone support and they couldn't help him via chat. And there's even another topic at N26, data storage. N26 got in more potential trouble with the data protection officer of the state of Berlin since they kept a blacklist of former customers, potentially violating GDPR. Whew.
Yeah, crazy. A lot of N26 going on, but that allows us also to move on to our monthly Rocket Internet Corner. First news there is that Africa's Amazon, Jumia, which is backed by Rocket Internet, is set for a New York IPO as online retail seems to take off on the African continent. The shares open at $14.50 at the New York Stock Exchange. The company was founded in Lagos in 2012 with Rocket Internet backing and now operates multiple online verticals in 14 African countries.
Wirecard was also in the news recently. Now, SoftBank is to invest $1 billion into German digital payments provider Wirecard in a new fintech partnership, writes TechCrunch.
There is, I had to write down a note, I'm sorry. Then there is Moya, which is a subsidiary of Volkswagen, and Moya has self-driving little buses, you can say. I don't know if they call them buses, but like little vans. You could say vans. And they aimed to have a fleet of around 1,000 of those vans in Hamburg, but now they got the word that they have to reduce the fleet to just 200 cars, and the company will object. It was part of a trial, actually. There's then Berlin-based startup Bullet, which wanted to digitize the mail of small and medium companies and startups. Now they give up since the digitalization of mail processes is no high priority for their clients. We also got note that the growth of the Berlin-based unicorn used car sales platform Auto1 is slowing down and reaching 2.9 billion euros. Then we have the German super angel Stefan Schubert, which founded German financial information website and bank on Vista, who turns out to be actually a quite active investor and investing in around 20 startups, according to Deutsche Startups. Among them, Ampido, B2X Care Solution, Hype Cloud HQ, Just Watchcom, Looplinces, Movinga, and many more. And last but not least, in this little section, Lesara had to file for insolvency and is shut down. Founder Roman Kirsch is now back with an e-scooter startup with discount pricing. Good luck for that.
M&A, venture capital, corporate venture capital. German fintech builder FinLieb acquires SME banking provider Penta. You remember we kept track of those guys pretty decently. Have a look at our website. German listed competitor of LinkedIn called Xing, market cap 1.73 billion euros as we found those news, buys IT-focused job platform Honeypot for 57 million euros, reports Deutsche Startups. Later Pay raises 6 million more venture capital. Now they raised a total of 27 million to enable monetization of blogs, media or newspapers content with small payments. The users only pay when a certain threshold has accumulated. Hevelia Capital and IBB Beteiligungsgesellschaft invest in Heycater, an undisclosed 7-digit amount of venture capital. Heycater is a catering platform. Venture capital investors Excel, Holzbring, Scania and Project A invest in 8 digits round B of Berlin-based logtech startup Sender. German company builder Next Big Thing raises 12 million euro venture capital from a large insurance conglomerate called Talanx. And Berlin-based Rasa raises 13 million by Excel for its developer-friendly open-source approach to chatbots. Once again, Berlin startup Static, that offers software for automated data anonymization, has raised a substantial 7-figure round led by Capmanic Ventures with participation of Westtech. Daimler invests 100 million US dollar venture capital in battery startup Sila Nanotechnologies and leads 170 million US dollar funding round. This achieved, by the way, unicorn status for Sila. And Berlin-based startup Scov News raises 3 million euros in a new investment round by a high-tech Gründerfonds. And then we do have Cologne-based blockchain startup Ubrish raises funding for its IoT cybersecurity solutions. You can learn more on eustartups.com. Whew, it was a lot, but you can tell we're getting smaller with the news. We only try to include the most relevant. How do you like that approach, Chris?
I like it, and all I can add is the additional, more long-term information that we have in our little stay ahead of the curve section. So, for example, we are looking at a CB Insights research report about why fintechs aren't, not more fintech companies are going public. Then we have the S1 form of Pinterest at ABC with a lot of information about the picture platform. We have how SoftBank invests around the world and turns into this giant international kingmaker right now. We have a reflection about how market concentration is threatening the US economy, because, I mean, mostly people think that monopolies are what you should seek in order to make the highest possible profit, but probably for a society it is not the best way to do. And we see that Spain outperformed Europe in gender diversity in tech startups. So Deal Room is writing about the question whether there might change some things for the better in terms of gender equality.
Pretty good. And now we are done. Your actually video live stream quality improved significantly. Maybe YouTube still likes us. So would say see you towards end of June. Remember, guys, we'll announce our live stream on Facebook and Meetup again. And of course, then we'll see you, or you see us or hear us, depending on how you are connected to Startuprad.io, only end of September. That's quite a lot of time. We take 3 months of summer break, but Startuprad.io has more than enough content to keep posting. Chris,
yes.
It was once again a pleasure working with you. Looking forward to see you in a month again.
Yes, please everybody stay with us, even though we have terrible gender equality. Bye-bye.
Yes, we are always looking for a woman to join us. If you want to join us, reach out to us, joe@startuprad.io. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.